If you're already making $20,000 to $50,000 as a coach, then the truth is you're already closer to 100K per month than you think. The problem isn't your fulfillment, it's not your offer, and it's not that you're not working hard enough. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the one page 100K per month coaching business plan you can utilize as a 25K per month coach who can scale to 100K per month organically. So we're going to be reverse engineering the revenue goal, map out the offer, identify the biggest market opportunity, build an acquisition system using the micro niche YouTube channel, and go over the conversion metrics you need to actually scale to this amount. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple plan you can execute on to hit 6 figures per month consistently. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's just go through your current situation. You're a make money online female coach. You're cruising around 25K per month to 35K per month with coaching, and your offer is validated. Like, people are seeing the results when they invest into you. But you don't have any predictability in your acquisition, and you don't have any consistency as well with the acquisition. And you usually get clients through low budget ads or outreach, which is a problem because it's not really long term. If you're in this for the long run and actually building a coaching business for longevity, then these sources would not do you a favor. So that's your current situation. Now let's go and jot down your revenue goal. Well, your current revenue, let's just say it's 25K per month, and your target revenue is 100K per month. Well, the gap between 25K per month to 100K per month is 75K per month. So the timeline for you to actually reach this amount is usually going to be plus 6 months. Maybe it's maybe it's 4 months, or maybe it's like 1 year, but 6 months is a good range because everyone's different. Everyone achieves their goal differently. So let's just give 6 months as a safe timeline. Well, you also need to understand that you're losing 75K per month every single month you don't hit your targeted revenue. And if you can truly understand this concept, then there is going to be a sense of urgency within yourself to actually hit your goal faster, because every single month you don't hit your goal, you're losing 75K per month. So staying stagnant is actually doing you a bigger loss than growing faster. So that's the first part. We've jotted down your revenue goal. Now let's map out your offer. We're not changing anything. We're just mapping it out. So the price point is 6K for like 4 months or 6 months. That depends. But the price point is 6K, and your desired state is going to be having predictability in your acquisition and getting like qualified book calls, because a lot of times even if you get calls, you hop on them, people can't maybe the price point doesn't align with them, they can't afford it, or they're just not nurtured enough. So you want to hop on calls which are extremely qualified and people who just want to throw their credit card at you. That's your desired stage. You also want to scale while maintaining profit. Lastly, you never really want to worry about how the next client is going to come, because you're right now in a state of like, you don't know how many clients you're going to get next month, or are you even going to get clients for your coaching business, because your acquisition isn't strong. So you want to be in a situation where you don't have to worry about when the next payment will hit your bank account. So those are just like a few things when it comes to acquisition that your desired state has. Now let's go on to your delivery type. Well, your delivery type is going to be one-on-one mentorship. It can also be group coaching, but like in this case, we're going to take one-on-one mentorship. So that's your offer part. Now let's go on to market opportunity. Now, this is extremely important because, and I'm just going to draw out an example for you to actually understand the niche target market more effectively. So let's say you pick e-commerce. This is broad. So if you tend to create content with using e-commerce, well, chances are your ICP is not going to watch your content, or even if they do, they're going to be extremely hesitant in booking a call with you because you haven't spoken to their pain points. You haven't alleviated their pain points. You haven't mapped out their situation, so they don't relate to you, neither do they trust you. However, if you go one step deeper and you choose Amazon FBA, that is called niching down. In this case, it is still not that effective because you're still not speaking to the exact needs of your ICP. However, if you go one step more deeper and you specify who your content is actually for example, Amazon FBA for ladies in their 20s and 30s, and that is called micronation. That is going to make you the most amount of money because you're speaking to your ICP's needs, pain points, desires, and they just feel extremely relatable to you, which is why they trust you even more. So, and this is actually one of the offers one of the people we worked with had. And the reason why she was making the money she was making is because her offer was niche down, and she was creating niche down content for her offer. And that's the first part. The second part is your main bottlenecks. Now, your main bottlenecks are basically everything that you currently don't have that your desired state has. So, for example, you don't have a predictable acquisition source, you're not booking qualified calls, and you're stagnant. You can't find a way to scale effectively. And most importantly, you're worrying about when clients are going to come in every single month, which is going to make you operate from a place of scarcity and take the wrong decisions. And maybe you think you have to change something, so you change something, but that thing ends up being something that generates you the most amount of revenue, and you stop that thing, which is why you're stagnant and you're not scaling. So these are your main bottlenecks, and you also might not know what type of content to create, or like how to create content that converts, or you might not even have time to create. Well, these are all of your main bottlenecks. Honestly, at this point, you're ahead of 99% of coaches, because most coaches don't even know what their main bottlenecks are. So they don't know what to fix, and they end up fixing the wrong thing. So instead, now that you've identified your main bottlenecks, you can actually change things effectively. So let's go on to the next point, which is understanding and finding your unique angle. Now, the biggest people in the info space, I'm talking about Shelby Sapp, Iman Ghazi, Sue Wei, Nick Setting. The reason why these people are making the money they make is because they found one element that basically differentiates themselves from their competition, and they basically abuse that element in their marketing angles. So that's why they're making the money they make. For example, let me give you an example of Sue Wei. He makes $400K per month, is a D1 basketball player, full-time university student, and has a great social life, and also is like has morals and values. So these are all of his marketing angles that he uses in his content to actually attract, nurture, and convert the right ICP. So now you might be thinking, okay, well, how can I find out what my unique angle is? Well, your unique angle can be anything: your age, gender, ethnicity, your income level, anything. For example, I'm 16 years old. I'm running this business while going to school and playing sports. So that's my unique edge that differentiates me from my competition. Once you find yours, double down on it, because I genuinely believe it's going to make you the most amount of money, because people are going to resonate with you better and they're going to trust you more, which will lead to more conversion. Now let's go on to your acquisition source. Now I'm going to be explaining the social acquisition funnel. It has two parts: micro niche YouTube and Instagram story sequences. So let's go on with creating micro niche YouTube videos. Well, the process is extremely simple. I don't like to overcomplicate it, because there's nothing to overcomplicate. The first part is the ideation, and this is basically the 20% of the activity that will give you 80% of the result. Ideation is extremely important. If your idea isn't validated, then there's no point to create content. So first, you need to make the genuine effort to see which ideas are doing extremely well in your market, or not even in your market, another market, and then take that idea that's doing extremely well and tailor it to your own niche. Now, for example, let's go on with ideation. There are multiple ways you can actually find your ideas. First of all, you need to have good market research. If you have good market research, then you can identify the pain points of your ICP and then use that in your content. Make videos around that, because you're going to be handling objections, you're going to be alleviating pain points, which is going to make your ICP more inclined towards purchasing your offer. And secondly, you can execute on outliers, which is a big thing, because what you can do is, like I said, the ideas are working extremely well. Take that in your niche and replicate it, and then just tailor it to your own style, because these ideas are proven to work. That's why they're outliers. They're proven to work. All you need to do is actually execute on them. Now let's go on to the second point, which is asset creation. Now for this, you need to hire an asset designer. You don't have time to create these assets by yourself, because they take work. Instead, you hire an asset designer who creates Notion docs and Miro boards for you. So the only thing you have to do is record. If you're working with us, we actually handle every single thing from the ideation to asset creation to the packaging. So the only thing you have to do is record. So if you're interested in that, then you could click the link in the description below and we can have a one-on-one chat. But anyway, you hired the asset designer, and the only thing you actually need to do is give info about your offer, because they don't know your offer as well as you do. So give info about your offer, and once they have info about your offer, they're going to create these Miro boards and then you're going to use these Miro boards in your YouTube videos and explain the value you have to do. It's pretty simple. They're going to do 60% of the heavy lifting for you. Like, they're going to bump up your posting frequency. You're going to be posting more, which is going to result in like more revenue being generated for you, and you wouldn't even be putting in that much work. So definitely you should hire an asset designer. And last part is the packaging. Now for the packaging, like the ideation, this is extremely important because before the person behind the screen even sees your video, the first thing they encounter is the title and the thumbnail. So your thumbnail needs to pique curiosity so that people can actually click on your video and see what's it about. One way you can find thumbnails is just see thumbnails that are doing extremely well, like outlier thumbnails, and just replicate that. It's pretty simple. You don't have to overcomplicate the process, but the main thing is piquing curiosity. Now comes your content funnel, and this consists of 3 layers: top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Top of funnel content is basically content that is broad but still in your niche. Like, it doesn't tell about your unique mechanism, it doesn't tell about your business model, it's just extremely broad. Whereas middle of funnel content is niche and it speaks to your audience's pain points. It's about your unique mechanism, it's about your business model, it's about solving pain points. Bottom of funnel content is there to do the conversion, which is client case study, which is showcasing case studies, client interviews, anything that gives your viewers a gentle reminder that you know what you're doing, so they should invest in your offer. Now, the thing that most make money online coaches do is that they just focus on one layer, either top of funnel content or middle of funnel content, or they solely just focus on bottom of funnel content. But the truth is, you will never be able to make the money you can make if you combine all of these 3 layers together. Each layer has a specific job. So top of funnel content is there to get attention, middle of funnel content is there to actually nurture the people, and bottom of funnel content is there to convert. If one of these layers is missing, your entire funnel is going to leak. So it's extremely important that you have all of these layers. Now comes your content pillars. The thing is that you need to find 2 to 3 content pillars that are doing extremely well for you. Maybe it can be lifestyle content, value content, like a certain content piece, like maybe when you're talking about your story and like how you're giving value, certain framework, maybe Mario style videos or like talking heads, whatever. And the moment you find 2 to 3 content pieces that is extremely easy for you to make, like it comes effortlessly, and your audience resonates with it and actually likes that style, you need to double down on it. Because and rinse it out until your audience wants to see a new style. Now, I'm not against testing. Yes, you have to test, but you also need to create what's already working. You have to kind of do these things simultaneously. So while you're testing, you also have to do what's working. So essentially, what most coaches do is that they just try, but they never double down, which is why their audience never really sticks, and which leads to them not even converting. So once you find a format that converts, stick with it. Now comes your posting cadence. I recommend posting 2 to 3 times a week, not more than that, because if you post more than 3 times a week, chances are it's not sustainable for you, and you're going to be compromising on quality, and your value actually needs to be good for your audience to purchase your offer. So what you need to do is that 3 is the maximum. Start off with 2 videos per week, and if you can bump it up to 3, that's amazing, but do not do anything above 3 if you think your quality is being compromised. Now comes the second part of the social acquisition funnel, which is Instagram stories. Either coaches will solely focus on Instagram or solely on YouTube, but the truth is, if you combine those 2 together, you're going to make an amazing amount of money. And this was actually something that allowed one of the people we worked with book 7 calls in 24 hours. Her YouTube content was dialed in, and once we ran the story sequence, people were actually interested to hop on a call with her. The question is, what are you actually supposed to post on your Instagram story sequence? To our clients, we actually provide like a story sequence schedule, so they know what to post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on. And some of the things you can actually post is, for example, day in a life, client results, lifestyle, question answers, values, business value, and insights. There's so many things you can post. The main part is just to nurture your audience. Don't only make it all about value. Tell about your personal life as well. How you spend your days, what's your lifestyle looking like, the results you're getting for clients. If you do all of these things simultaneously, people are going to have so much trust with you that they're going to end up DMing you, and then you're going to have a conversation with them, and they'll eventually book a call. Like YouTube, once you find like a story sequence that's doing extremely well, maybe your day in a lives are doing extremely well, post more about that. And then, like, I'm not saying cancel out the other options completely, but like what to actually post a little bit more, just to pique curiosity and gain your viewers' attention. Now comes your conversion metrics. While the funnel is extremely simple, we're not going to overcomplicate anything. The moment your viewers watch your YouTube content and they resonate with you and they feel like they want to book a call, they go into your description and then they book a call either through your VSL funnel or Calendly. It's as simple as that. Or maybe if they think, okay, now is not the right time, they follow you on Instagram, you run these story sequences, and then they eventually think, okay, now I'm ready. They they basically swipe up to your story and reply to you, and then your appointment setter books them in. It's that simple. We're not doing any overcomplicated funnel, because that's not really that sustainable. So once you have this simple funnel dialed in, these are the conversion metrics you actually need to scale to 100K per month. Well, for your watch time, if it's anything below 3 to 4 minutes, then you need to work on your hook, because that's weak, which is why people aren't staying long enough. For your CTR rate, it's 3.5%. I believe that the average industry rate is 3%, but if you have 3.5%, that's going to be amazing. And you can obviously improve your packaging, do A/B testing on your thumbnails and titles, but this is the metric for your CTR. The video to lead conversion rate is that for every 100 views that you get, 1 to 3% of people should convert. If they're not, then maybe your video structure is wrong, and the way you've positioned your video, all of these metrics need to kind of be taken a look at. Calls book, if you're doing, if your watch time is the CTR rate is 3.5%, video to lead conversion rate is 1 to 3% for every video, 100 views on your video, then your calls booked would be 61 to 85 calls booked per month, and your show up rate is going to be 80%. And now you guys might be wondering, oh, why is it so high? Well, because these people only book in a call when they know that they want to invest into you. So the show up rate is going to be high, and plus they respect you so much because you've nurtured them, given them so much value, that they're obviously going to show up to your call. The KPIs on micro niche YouTube videos are insanely ridiculous, because you're building trust beforehand. And then comes your close rate. It's going to be anywhere from 25% to 35%. If you end up not making micro niche YouTube videos, then all of these metrics are going to be extremely down, and then you're not going to be able to scale to 100K per month effectively and organically. Anyway, that's it for today's video. We've covered every single thing you need to do to hit 100K per month organically with your coaching business without running ads or doing any outreach. If you want to work with me one-to-one with my agency, then you can click the link in the description below and we can hop on a call. Anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.